So how many active positions do you have right now?
Biggest positions right now are Fastly, Palantir, and Plug.
And it's equity and options or just one of the other?
It's mostly options. I mean, I have like a portfolio that I created, um, but those I have like I don't know. I think I have like 20 positions there. So
Yeah.
I'm not really quite sure. Like I'm just hoping that it's going to do the Santa Claus rally to the end of the year, and then I'm probably going to start selling off at the end of the year, or like maybe a little bit. I'm planning to sell before the special Senate race in Georgia.
Yeah.
Because if the Dems win, right, then like the market's dead.
I just don't see that how the Dems can win.
I don't see either, but
I mean, I don't even think like a moderate Democrat, unless you're like super left. I don't see why you would want Georgia, the Senate to flip.
right.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's weird though because you look at the polls and some of the polls have it really close.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but like the Warnock race, he was before the election. He was polling. They were saying he was going to get like 40 to 45% of the vote because you had like two Republicans splitting votes. So you had a lot of other people, but then he actually only hit like 30%.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and like there was like 20% of that total vote was for just random people. And then like one Republican got 24% and one got like 23.
Okay.
So I don't see where he's going to make up. So if you add the two Republicans together, they win. And so that's
Right.
what would
That's
happen,
true.
right?
Okay.
Yeah,
But
and then with the stimulus, I still think it happens. But it
this
sounds like
weekend.
yeah, because it sounds like there might be a shutdown. And
Yeah.
I don't think they would let there be a shutdown unless they're getting it done.
Yeah. I think that there was some news or something saying that the talks are being held up, and after that, the market just started dumping.
Yeah, so it sounds like the state and local aid might be out. The
Uh-huh.
liability protection might be out. Those
Okay.
are the two most contentious. And that was definitely narrowing because now they're fighting over the amount of money in the stimulus checks.
Uh-huh.
Because I think I saw Elizabeth Senator Warren, she was saying how it's not enough money.
Right.
Uh, but those are the things you can resolve.
Okay.
Like if it's we think the check should be 500 and someone else like the check should be 1,200 or whatever it is, like you
Yeah.
can, right? That's resolvable.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be a big thing, especially for the progressives.
yeah,
They want to like maximize it, obviously.
yeah. I mean the interesting thing is going to be Biden. I don't think he's going to be able to do anything if it passes though. Like I really think nothing happens next year. There's not going to be anything else. This is it.
No, this is it.
Yeah,
It's just so insane how it's always to like the 13th hour.
I know. I know.
Like they just can't get it together, man.
Yeah, they just like work to deadlines, I guess. And there's so many people. Again, you have to call everyone in Congress, and
Yeah.
it's almost like 500 people, whatever the number is.
Oh my
That's a
God.
lot of people, and you have to call them and be like, "Hey, are you voting?"
So you think it's going to be over the weekend?
Yeah, I think they'll get it. I think they're going. I think they must have like pretty much agreed to something
Uh
if they're willing to have a shutdown for a couple of days.
huh.
So I think basically they've agreed in principle.
I
And
mean, how can they
now,
even let it shut down for a couple days?
yeah, and now they're going to look at so they've agreed in principle. They're like, here's the 10 things or whatever they say.
Yeah.
And now they're just like negotiating those items,
Oh my God.
I think. And then, yeah, so I think it gets done. And, I think everyone in Congress, like, they want to be done too. Like, they want to get out of here and go home.
They don't want to keep this going.
Yeah. I don't know. So I'm optimistic. I just really think it happens. But,
You just never know because there's always those groups out there that
well, and then what if
you know.
Trump vetoes it? And then do you have enough votes to push it
Oh my
through
God.
with this veto? Because I don't know if you've been following the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, but that's the thing where Trump was saying he'll veto it if they don't repeal the thing that deals with like Twitter and Facebook, how those companies like can't be sued or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Like their protections. So he says, "Oh, we have to repeal that, and if you don't, I'm going to veto the NDAA." But they had enough votes that even if he vetoes it, it doesn't matter.
Gotcha.
But I think with stimulus, I don't know. Like, I don't know if you'll be able to get enough votes because on the far right and far left,
Right.
those are tricky votes to reel in sometimes.
Well, I think Trump probably wants to leave with, something good. So I doubt that he would veto it.
Yeah, I don't know. You just never know, right? Him, like, you have no idea. You have no idea.
It's a lot of risk. A lot of risk going on.
Dude, have you looked at Plug today? It's still ripping.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been looking at Plug. I mean, my first target is at 33, so I'm just gonna keep holding on, waiting for that.
Here, I'm gonna pull it up. Can you see this?
Yeah, I can see it. I sold some options today, but I still have 17 of them.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. I mean, like it hit 20% up, so I sold like 3 of them, and then I'm trying to sell more when it hits like 50%. If it goes to 33, then I think it's going to be definitely 50%.
So which ones did you have?
I got the Plug 30 Cs, 30 for January 15.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I bought them at $3. They're like, I bought them at $3. They're $4 right now.
Is this one?
Yeah, there's actually like, look how many contracts are open. People are like piling into them.
Nice.
But I'm like I'm focused on Tesla today. I have a 650 call that's expiring today, so it's like dying already. But
yeah,
I'm just wondering if they're gonna start buying this at the end of the day to like fill up whatever they need, or in the afternoon.
Man, I can't believe Plug outperformed Tesla this year.
Plug's been ripping.
Look at this. Look at this. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Should have bought it down here.
Yeah, it's been moving real nice. I mean, there'll be more opportunities and new stocks that pop up that are just gonna rip.
Yeah, I mean, with Tesla. So, how do you feel about the whole being added to the S&P? Like, what's that going to do to it?
Yeah, I mean, I think after it's starting trading on Monday, it's going to go through a long period of consolidation.
It should be less volatile, though, right? Or is it just like, now will be like in one day, it's like down 4.5%, then it closes up 6%.
Yeah.
I feel like after it's in the index, it should be more just like at most 2 to 3% moves.
Right, because the index will be holding a lot of the open shares, and they're not really going to be trading it much.
I mean, it's just crazy because the market cap's so big. When you look at other companies with that kind of market cap, like their stocks don't move,
Yeah.
Like Apple, like it moves some. But it'll be steady, but you don't just go like 15%, 20%,
right. But then you got like Amazon, which is pretty huge, and those are all on the indexes. I don't think it's on S&P. It's definitely on the NAS.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell I want to do with my portfolio. If I can't decide. So yesterday I sold. So I was like 30% of my portfolio was gold, silver, and GBTC, which is Bitcoin essentially. But I was much heavier. Like my gold and silver positions were double that of Bitcoin.
Okay.
So now I what, Cindy? Yeah, so they were like double of Bitcoin. So I sold half my gold, half my silver, or GLD and SLV.
Okay.
So now those three are equal. I may just like get out of gold and silver though. Silver's been having a good week though.
Yeah, it has been having a good week. I mean, like if you look at the dollar index is just crashing. DXY.
Yeah. So I freed up some cash, and then in beyond, I'm going to sell half that position, which it's like I'm trying to think what percentage that is. That's like
it looks like it's gonna make a move soon.
Oh, it looks that way.
I mean,
on Meat, it always does the same thing. It has shitty earnings, and it taints, and then leading up to the Nets earnings, it goes back up.
All right.
So it falls after earnings, like it goes to like between 100 and 120. And then it builds back to like 150. And then I don't know. It's just like, yeah, I'm like losing confidence in that company a little. But like,
It's been basically going sideways for the past like
just
month.
whenever I go to the grocery store, they have this little section, and I can just tell by the way it looks. It's I've been there a long time.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, okay.
it's like I feel like people aren't buying it.
Yeah, I
It's like
mean,
good to get deals, but like at Costco, do you think that means people are buying the meatballs at Costco?
people go to Costco to buy wholesale chicken and stuff.
I feel like people buy Beyond Meat stuff and then they put it in their freezer and they never cook it.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happens. They just save it for a rainy day, right? Because it doesn't really go bad.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been in that position since March,
Yeah.
and on the year, I think I'm up like 1 or 2% on it. So I'm like, I don't know. I feel like
That time when it ran up to like 190, you should have sold there in October.
I
That was
know,
the time to sell.
I know. It's yeah. So but I think I'll just sell half, and
You live and you learn, man.
yeah, and then plug. I was thinking of selling some plug, but I guess I should just keep living. I should just keep riding that right until it.
I mean, my targets are like 34, like 33, 34, 35, and then
Yeah, what should be my stop? Where should I have my like? What I should probably do?
depends.
I should probably
I mean,
like
uh,
25 or something. I don't know.
yeah, like I'm tracking this trend line or this channel. I guess if it breaks that channel, then that's it. But like by the time it breaks that channel, you're gonna be at like 25, 24. Whereas right now you got like extra $6.
Yeah,
I mean, it's never not smart to take some profits along the way and then leave runners in.
yeah. Here, I'm gonna pull up again. Uh, delete. Let me see. I mean, it's been on such a run, man.
Yeah, like see if you draw a trend line from that bottom of 16 and then you like connect all of the bottoms, then like that can kind of be your
Oh, okay. Oh, so every time it bottoms out.
yeah, I mean like if it never breaks that trend line, then if it's finding support there and that's basically how it's moving up, right? Like even
Yeah.
if you connect it, yeah, like you see that low of like 22 or
Yeah, here, I'll go back to this. Like, look at this 3 month chart. It's crazy.
yeah,
11. Yeah, so I think the that newsletter, it was like right around here, I guess,
right.
when they said to buy it.
Right. See, the thing about the EVs is that I feel like it's really got picked up a lot of pace after Tesla announced that it was going to list it. Like after that, all the EV stocks just went ballistic. So
Look at Candy, that Chinese maker, car maker.
yeah, I think Candy had some news today.
Oh, I wonder if it's up today. Yeah, it's up a little.
Yeah, the market's it's bouncing now. Dude, Roku is just ridiculous.
See that?
Yeah, it's up today, but like not
Dang.
nearly
Yes,
as much as it was
Sandy
yesterday.
was. I remember when it was. Yeah, around here, she was like thinking of selling it, or maybe when this at this point when it really dropped.
Yeah, but that's coronavirus.
40% on it, like the first.
Look at that. Damn.
That's COVID though.
Yeah. It's funny. So it took a little while to like for you to actually see the COVID boost the stock.
Yeah.
Wasn't until August. It's kind of flat. Been 2 years.
I was thinking about getting into Roku today. It was like at 325, and like it was hitting that bottom trend line, but I didn't because yesterday's volume was so red that I was like, all right, it's gonna maybe start to consolidate now. But it just kept it just bounced back. Like it bounced at that trend line and just came.
Yeah,
up.
I saw Roku. They have some kind of deal with
HBO Max.
Yeah. So what is it exactly? Do you know?
They're just gonna stream HBO Max on the Roku TV. I don't think it's exclusive or anything, but
I mean, I have HBO Max on my Xbox. You know, like
yeah, I have HBO Max on like.
it's
my
funny
iPad.
how that's the. I guess I guess when you're these devices, you just kind of have to have everything. And
Yeah,
if
which
you
is
don't
like,
have the right thing, then people won't use it.
well, which is like my whole thing is like, why wouldn't you just like? I don't see a world where you wouldn't have everything on your platform. Like the whole point of Roku TV is to do that, so you have to have everything.
I just want to make money, and I don't want to lose money.
Well, if you want to make money, then you got to go for the growth stocks.
But I feel like, I
you
mean,
gotta be a stock picker.
at some point, this can't keep up, right?
Well, that's why I'm saying, like in January, right? I feel like there's going to be a correction, and after it
Should I
finishes
sell my
correcting,
stock?
then that'll be time. Like you buy in close to the bottom, and then you kind of just ride it up,
I want to sell my stock.
and then you sell it when it's when it's kind of like at all time high again, and then
Yeah.
then that's maybe a signal to sell.
Well,
it.
that's why, like, I feel like Exxon is just like, I feel like right now having a lot of cash isn't good
No.
because everything's just ripping. But I
Yes.
feel like, and so that's why I had gold and silver, because I'm thinking, well, silver can be really volatile, but like gold, it's
right.
you're probably not going to make much. You're probably not going to lose much either. Maybe you can make like 10%. So at least that's better than it being in cash, kind of in my
Right.
view. I think Exxon might be that way next year, that it's just like a really safe place to park money.
I mean, yeah, it gives a good dividend. I mean, it's kind of like a Verizon, right? You just like, or AT&T, you just put the money there and then you just let it grow. But if you're looking for explosive growth, you're not going to get it there.
Yeah.
And these companies they seem pretty susceptible to economic downturn these days. So you get to think about that.
Yeah, I don't know. They just like cut so many expenses. I should I guess read more about Exxon, but
Yeah,
I mean, I agree with you, because it's what's really weird about the market now. So it used to be, if I told you, I was like, hey, I can like return 10% for you, people would be happy with that, right?
Yeah.
Now it's just, when you see like Tesla going up 7 times and all these other companies, it's not good enough, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, it's a stock picker's market, right? Like that old traditional thinking of like the ETFs and putting it into safe dividend stocks. It doesn't really apply anymore, especially like now that everything's commission free. Like, you're not really bound to anything. It's not easy. It's not hard to.
Oh, yeah. So now you can just like trade in and out of any name as much as you want.
Yeah, you just go into Tesla, it goes up, and then like you have to stop, you stop out, and then you put the money back into like a Exxon and get the dividend.
So when do you think so what will have to happen for it to stop being a stock picker's market?
I don't think it's ever going to be like that again. I mean, look at all the IPOs. There's so much innovations. There's so much disruptive companies out there now that you're better off like betting into one of these companies.
Yeah. So the one thing I think could like have a big impact, which hasn't been talked about a ton, is like the Fed facilities.
Okay.
So all those facilities they created, during the
stuff,
CARES Act or whatever, they're supposed to end the end of December.
Right.
But they renewed some of them. Like some of them got renewed, but a few of them they weren't used that much.
Uh-huh.
Like the one where they bought like corporate bonds, like the credit one. But the thing is, I feel like what I hear from people is, even though it's not being used, the market likes having it there. It's kind of like a trapeze artist, right? And they have a safety net.
Right.
You take out the safety net, things get a lot different.
Right.
And so I don't know. I feel like that could be something that once those are closed, the market could freak out a little.
I think the Fed was talking the other day on Wednesday, and he addressed that these things were expiring, but they said that they still have their weapons. Whether or not that's true, or not.
Yeah, it's so loud. We do it later. It's gonna all be in this video. No, I can't edit out the sound. I can't edit out the sound you're making. We'll just make it where all the stuff we're talking about I can't use.
You should just put that in the YouTube, like timestamp it. Be like, wife yells at husband.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So Powell, he doesn't. The Fed likes the facilities, and
Yes.
I think the view is on the street that just because you're not using it doesn't mean you should get rid of it. The whole point of it is you have this framework in place if you need to use it.
Right. Yes.
And I guess for the people who are critical of it, their kind of view is, well, if you have them in place, people are going to do things where you need to use it, maybe.
Right.
Uh, yeah, but so that's why I think in January it could get kind of ugly
Yes.
because you close those and it's just like less liquidity.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a lot of risk going to January, especially like the president's changing. I always feel like that's going to have some sort of impact. You never know.
Yeah, the market's got to fall, and right now, just like everyone's pouring into options and making money. I remember when I first started doing option trades, like I don't know, like 10, 15 years ago, whenever it was really hard.
Yeah.
Because like the market, it wouldn't really move.
Right.
And now, just like everyone, there's so many people I know that's making tons of money.
You're just using leverage.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy too, because when you buy options, the money makers have to go and hedge their position, and they'll hedge their position by buying the futures of the NASDAQ, like the SPX. And then when they start doing that, it just drives up everything else.
Just like do whatever you have to do. I just don't want us to talk. Okay, well, and I can edit all this out, but you're gonna, I don't know, be really annoying for anyone to listen to it, which is like rattling in the background. Do you fly to Hawaii tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. I got to go get the COVID test today at around like 2:45.
So is it like instant results?
I hope so. Everyone's saying that it only takes like a couple hours or like 15 minutes, but I can't go into Hawaii until I have those results. But it should be within 24 hours, so I'm hoping.
So what if you don't have one?
Then you're supposed to quarantine until you get the results in.
That's not a big deal.
I don't know. I'm hoping for the best. But I was hoping to be done with trading today, and like everything was going to blow up. Yeah, but now like it seems like maybe the rally is going to be next week, so I'm going to have to log in at like 5 a.m.
I feel like, so what's like priced in right now? Is a stimulus deal priced in? I
think the stimulus bill is priced in, but the market will like some certainty. Once the certainty is there, then it could explode. And also today is like quad witching day, which is like all the options, like a lot of options contracts expire today. So it might.
What is that? What is the quad witching? What is that?
Quad witching is like it happens 4 times a year. And let me see it. It's when stock index futures, stock index options, stock options, single stock futures, they all expire simultaneously. So like if you have any sort of options, like you have weekly options, there's quarterly options, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, so
like,
this
all
is,
of them
so four times a year, weekly and monthly and quarterly all hit the same day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. And so then 12 times a year, the weeklies and monthlies hit the same day, obviously.
Right. And like, the market makers, they need to protect their positions. So like sometimes they'll try to make sure that a stock closes below a certain number. So they'll just like keep selling.
Yeah.
Whatever. So all those contracts expire worthless, and then, they keep the gain.
Yeah. Man, I feel like it's tough though, because I think there's a lot of reasons the market can fall early next year. But if you get a stimulus, that's just so much money. Just like it's going to be $1 trillion, right?
Right.
$1 trillion pumped into the economy, and that's so. How much was the last like stimulus package?
Well, in 08, 09, it was like 800 billion or 900 billion. and then now this time it was like 1.2 trillion.
So that's the one over the summer, June.
That's the one over the summer.
1.2.
Yeah, I think 1.2.
But I guess the difference in that one, it was 1.2 plus you had all these Fed facilities.
Right.
Right. Where this time you could have those facilities closing.
Yeah.
But it's still like $1 trillion. I don't know. I feel like just everyone invests now. It's really rare to meet someone now that doesn't invest and doesn't follow the market close.
Yeah. I mean, Robinhood made it very easy, right? And now without the commission free, plus like you have to make market money in the market. It's like really the only way.
Yeah.
And you have to understand the market. I mean, the market just impacts so much of your life now.
I know the market's awesome. It's like the best thing. Like it straight up, like it creates wealth.
Yeah, that's really I think that's the true trickle down meaning. Like if you're invested in the market and then, the wealthy get wealthier or whatever, but like they're able to create wealth through that. And then like if you're invested in their stock, then that's how you get the benefit.
Man, I wonder if all this happened with the market, if it's been like good or bad for financial advisors. Because it could be maybe fewer people want to use a financial advisor because
it's just you don't want to pay the expenses.
Yeah.
Well, you got to outperform, right? Like a company like ARK Invest, their thing is solid. Like I have those ETFs, and you don't mind paying the expenses there because they're really trying to beat it. But someone like a JP Morgan or
what's the ticker for ARK?
There's two of them that I look at. ARKK is their main one.
ARKK. Pull it up. ARKK. Whew.
And I also recently got into ARKG.
Let me look at 1 year. Damn. So when did you buy into this?
I bought ARKK when it was like $98.
Well, what's the difference in them?
ARKK is just like it's their main ETF. Like if you look at their website, they have different specialities. So like the ARKK, that's just like all disruptive technologies, right? Like that's where the Teslas are, like DocU probably, Teledyne and all that stuff. ARKG is more genomics space. I didn't really understand what genomics is, but I think that, especially with the vaccine that's getting produced now, like that whole re-engineering of DNA and kind of like medical technology is going to start coming up a lot in the future. I mean, like we're going to probably eliminate all disease in the next, 50 years, 20, 30 years.
What?
Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, they're using this vaccine, so they're using mRNA technology. And I think what that does is like, normal vaccines is like they give you the vaccine shot. It's a weakened version of the virus, and then your body just is able to learn how to do it. But now they're saying you take that vaccine and your body learns how to create a protein that is able to kill the virus. So it's like kind of like you're changing your genetics.
I mean, that's another reason the market should rip is there's a vaccine. It's weird. As soon as I convince myself one way, I just convince myself. I mean, the it's just always going up right now.
Yeah.
Unless there's like a war or something. I don't know. I don't know what could derail it.
Like higher taxes. That's it.
Yeah, I guess.
Higher taxes. If Biden comes in and then they're just like, all right, the tech companies are too big. We need to go to war with them. That's going to bring it down.
I mean, but then other names should go up, right?
Yeah, it is. But these big names, they drive the market. So if they start falling, it just starts bringing down the whole index. And then that creates panic selling.
Yeah. I'm amazed with Tesla how divided people are on the value of that company.
Yeah. I don't get it.
I don't either. I mean, they're either calling for 1,200 or 100.
Their market cap is bigger than like all of the car manufacturers combined.
I know. Oh man, did you see that Ford, they have a new Mustang. It's like a EV. It's the under the Mustang brand. And Edmunds or someone who does these reviews, they said it's like maybe best in its class, and it's like better than the I guess the Tesla, the Y maybe
Okay.
is what it's
Oh wow.
comparable to. Yeah, but it's weird though because but the things they liked about it, like one thing the person liked is the fact you have like Apple's CarPlay and Android. You can use both those in the car. And Tesla, I guess you're not able to.
Oh
You
really?
have to use Tesla's own
Oh, that's annoying.
software.
Oh, I thought that they wouldn't just make it.
Yeah, and but the guy that was I've watched some of the review. He said it like he just handles well. He said it's really fun to drive, like how a
Okay.
Mustang is fun to drive. I don't know. So I feel like that space is about to get so crowded,
It is.
and and then on like the energy side of things, like when you think of like Exxon, I'm just not convinced that Exxon's so stupid and archaic that they'll let like Tesla become the leading energy manufacturer. It just like
Right.
doesn't
But
make sense.
Exxon's got a big customer base, right? Like you got tankers out there that need fuel, and I think they do a lot of things that it's not in the everyday consumer life. But
Yeah,
if these things, like you need Exxon in order to drive the world for the most part. Like unless we
yeah.
completely electric or hydrogen, which I don't think that's going to happen for like another 30, 40 years.
I mean, I feel like at some point, even then, did you see? I think Ferrari said there are Porsche. They're like we're going to keep making gasoline engines,
Uh,
like the combustible or whatever it is engine.
okay.
I think some people will like. I mean, the thing about like if you have a car with gas, you know how far you can drive. There's gas stations
Right.
everywhere. It like you want to stop to fill up, it doesn't take long.
Yeah.
And
I
you
mean, when
can
you
do
drive,
that. You can do that all across the U.S. Where if you have a Tesla, you like have to map out your route based on where charging stations are.
oh, right, right.
And
But
you,
there's a lot of charging stations.
but I was reading this one guy because I guess the problem with EV batteries is in the winter they really lose their power.
Oh, they get drained. That's a good
Yeah,
point.
so this person in maybe Colorado, he was saying like in his garage, he wasn't able, it took forever to like generate enough of a charge to so he could
Ah.
go to a supercharging station. And then
Oh,
he
damn.
went, he said as soon as he got there, it took him like a few hours to charge up his car, but there were other people waiting.
Oh,
So
wow.
they have to wait hours too. It just,
Oh, wow.
I think if I
That's
had
pretty
a
cool.
Tesla at that point, I'd be like, this sucks. I think it like, I mean, but I guess if you at your house, if you have that kind of a charger, then
Right, right. I mean, I think Tesla is kind of more, it's like a luxury car brand, right? Like people who are going to get a Tesla, they probably don't drive that much and, they're
yeah,
wealthy. It's not like buying an Audi or,
I think they don't drive that much. That's
yeah.
the thing.
I mean, if you look around my area, like I start seeing more Teslas, but I also it's all like Mercedes, Audis, Range Rovers, and then like now you're starting to see more and more Teslas. But
Yeah,
I think if you're like cost conscious, you're probably not gonna go for it.
I mean that's like me. So like my truck, it goes. I'm trying to think on a full tank of gas on a highway. Let's say it's like 400 miles,
That's pretty good.
and it's probably like a 20-gallon tank. Uh, but at least like I don't drive it enough where I think about the cost of gas. And I think so. I think if you had a Tesla, you're driving it not too much. You don't think about the annoyance of having to charge it, maybe,
Right.
right? Um,
I don't know. We were thinking about getting a Tesla, like just leasing one.
how much is it to lease it?
The Model Y, I think it was like 300-400 bucks a month, which is not that bad.
Let's see here. Pull this one up.
I was just gonna lease it and then write it off to my company.
Oh, really?
Yeah, why not?
That's what you should do. I think
That's what
like
everyone does.
here we go. Share. I mean, what's really great about Tesla is this. This is, in my view, the best part about Tesla is you can see this, right?
Yeah,
You just go on their webpage and
yeah,
see exactly how much it costs.
right, exactly.
Like,
There's no haggling. There's no like any of that bullshit.
man, this isn't that expensive
Yeah,
at all.
no.
So
I mean, for $40,000, you can get a SUV.
yeah, I mean,
Whereas this is the Model 3, you know.
so this lease, you give 5,500 at signing, and then it's 371 a month. And I guess like it's maintenance and stuff, that's got to be included, right?
Oh, see, that's the thing. Oh, I think if you lease, probably. But I heard that when you get a Tesla, in order to fix it, it's very expensive.
I think they kind of mess up. They are prone to like fucking up.
Right.
Where it doesn't say any. I mean, where do you have work done on it?
I don't even know. I mean, I'm sure that there's garages now that are starting to do it.
So I mean, so if you go, this is weird that it's not clear. The maintenance and care on it.
Yeah, I think you would just have to go to Tesla to get it fixed.
But I guess you don't. I mean, you don't change oil. So all those parts that mess up, I guess Teslas don't have those parts. But it'd be more like your tires,
right?
Just the electronics in it.
Yeah, but maybe cosmetics is going to be expensive.
Yeah.
Oh man, Plug making new highs.
Oh, what did it hit now?
32.1.
Boom.
Boom. Just
Yo,
slowly grinding up there, man. Slowly
go,
grinding up there. Love it.
Yeah, no. So I bought my original plug position at 14. I bought, I think, 1,000 shares. And then when it hit like 20, it was in 25 or something. Maybe I bought 500 more. But so my original ones I bought, I'm up well over 100%. And then the other 500 I bought, I didn't buy them that long ago. I'm already up like 50% on them.
Oh, wow.
Whatever it was at. Yo, that has been like the best stock I've ever bought.
Dude, yeah, man. Plug was a winner, man. Plug was a huge winner.
And it's the only, from that newsletter, that's the only stock I bought that I read about in the newsletter. Because I feel like a lot of their stocks they suggest are already like, they're in like $200-$300 range.
Yeah.
And that shouldn't deter me, but it definitely deters me.
I mean, yeah, right. You're like working with limited capital. Like something like a Plug, which is like $15 you can buy.
Yeah, no, because I can imagine, hey, that could go to 100. Where something's like 400, it's like,
where's it gonna go? 500?
Yeah,
but that's only like what? That's 25%. Yeah. Whereas Plug, you could get like 200.
I think it's so crazy though that when I look at names I want to invest in, if something I think can only go up like 50%, I almost feel like it's not worth it. Which is stupid. That's so much money.
Yeah, I feel you. Like, I mean, I've been buying stocks now kind of like all over the place.
Yeah.
I'll buy stocks that are sometimes like, if the setup is good and it looks like I could get maybe like $10 out of it, then I'll buy it. I'll buy like 100 shares maybe, and then when it hits the target, I'll just sell it.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I'm kind of surprised with Tesla is like, because on Twitter I follow people that are like, they're all about Tesla, right?
Yeah.
They're like, here's my option strategy, here's my price target. I feel like at this point, why wouldn't you go to a different name? Because even if it goes to 1,000, that's like less than 100%. I don't know.
Because when Tesla moves, it can move like 100 points.
Yeah.
You just have to be patient.
But like Palantir, like that can go, 5x.
Yeah.
Like Tesla's not going 5x from here for maybe
no way.
Really long time. So
Tesla's probably gonna go down from here. This is like the peak.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too.
What do you think about Plug? They got a downgrade today.
Though they did,
Yeah, they did. That's why I like it. That's why it opened lower.
I feel
But it's
like.
fine to
I
come
mean,
back.
so when I read about Plug and like watch videos, and there's like this YouTube video that shows like their factory, it all seems really good. And you hear they're partnered with Walmart, they're partnered with Amazon. Like that sounds really good, but I don't
Yeah.
know if it's actually really good. Like I don't know. I feel like right now on Plug, you're just kind of investing in the hope that in the future this is like the hydrogen leader or one of the hydrogen leaders.
Right.
And I don't know if we'll get there, honestly. That's what makes me nervous about it.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, at some point, maybe by the end of the year, I'll probably sell a third of my Plug shares,
Yeah.
so I
I
can
mean,
take some profit.
it's been on an incredible run. I mean, the run is still going, but you know, at some point, it is going to like tip out. But you can always sell and then wait for the consolidation and then buy back in.
Yeah, it's just like it's such a terrible feeling to sell a stock and see it keep going up.
So what? Oh, see it going up. I mean,
I think it
that's
feels
part of
worse.
trading, man.
I
You got to
think
move
that
on.
feels worse than holding too long and having it go down some.
Yeah, but like you never know, right? Like you can hold it for a long time and then you're up a huge amount and then it just starts consolidating like crazy and you lose all your gains. That's like even worse. Like you could have locked it in. I mean, you're always going to have that regret. Like you need to learn how to manage that regret.
Yeah, yeah, I got to make some moves before year end. I really need. I mean, the good thing about going to cash
It's cash.
is cash, and then you can do whatever you want. You know,
Exactly.
you always need. Yeah, I'm trying to. I'll probably get like 30% cash.
Yeah. I mean, right now there's time like, you know, in August it was like the month it just ripped. So like that was the time to make money. But then from September to November, it was like pretty much dead.
Yeah, yeah. No,
So
one
like
of those months was negative.
yeah, I think like September was negative.
Yeah, and then November was up like markets are up like 10% or something.
Yeah. So, you know, like the market goes in cycles and you just have to know at some point you just got to cut out and then like wait it out. Or like you need to have I think the idea is like you have your trading account which you're actively managing and then you have your really long-term one where you're just dollar cost averaging every month or every
Yeah,
couple weeks whatever.
man. Did you see how the SEC has that had a settlement with Robinhood? Robinhood
Oh,
like system.
I saw like the headline but I didn't read the
Yeah, so
whole.
apparently they said that Robinhood like gamifies trading.
Ah.
They do things to make you use the app more. And they gave an
Uh,
example of someone who had never traded before. They did like 12,000 trades in a month or two.
yeah, yeah.
But like, so what? They can do that. Like,
Yeah, so what? It's the market.
I
Like,
mean,
you know,
it's weird to think Robinhood will have to tell someone you have to stop trading so much.
I mean, yeah, to me, Robinhood made trading more accessible
I know, I
to,
agree.
like, I don't know. Even though their platform sucks now, like, I'll still have, I still have a lot of respect for them because, like, they literally changed the game.
Yeah, have you seen that the Chinese one, Weeble? I think
No.
it's like Robinhood. I think. Let me see if I can find it. Uh, here we go. Weeble. Yeah, I think they're starting to take market share from Robinhood.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's basically the same thing. Uh, Man, what else is kind of crazy that's happening right now is all these tech companies that are applying to become banks.
Yeah.
Like Coinbase, they have one. I think Coinbase is about to IPO, maybe.
I just wonder how they're going to get past it because eventually it's going to come under regulation by the Fed, right? I would assume.
Well, I mean, what Bitcoin or cryptos? I mean, that stuff's already theoretically regulated by. I mean, it is by the CFTC and SEC. Because you have futures on it now.
Right.
Oh, this Webull site's kind of interesting.
I just bought JMIA this morning.
Let's look on here. JMIA.
Yeah, not that many shares, but they're like the Amazon of Africa.
Yo, how'd you hear about
Yeah, I was gonna buy options, but I was too slow, and then we started having this call, and now I'm like, all right, fuck.
This website's kind of cool. Analysis, hold. Profile. Yeah, I need new names. I gotta. So at the start of every year, do you like decide here's the positions I want for this year? Like, what kind of reset do you do with your investment?
Well, before I haven't really been actively managing my IRA until like last year,
Yeah.
or like 2 years ago. I mean, I just start kind of like I always have my core stocks that I like BA, Disney, JP Morgan, and all the traditional stuff. And then like as the year goes on and I hear about more stuff, like I'll buy it, or if I hear about like a new stock that's been like ripping, then I'll start looking at the positions that I'm like pretty heavy in the green in,
Yeah.
and then I'll start selling some of those positions to buy like the new ones.
That's interesting. I always do that too, and I don't know if it's good. I'm always looking. I feel like I cut my winners too soon and hold my losers too long.
Well, I always try to make sure I leave some runners in.
Yeah.
So like if I have 100, if I have like 100 shares, I'll start off by selling like 30 shares.
Yeah. So I had done that. I was doing that a little this year, and then I had a few names that were really small positions. They're kind of like the profit I had made on it. But I don't know. For some reason, I like not having many names. I don't like having that many positions.
That's a smart thing to do. It's easier to if you're like trying to manage them, then like I would say having less is more. You can even have like one name. That's all you need to do, right? You just go all in on one name if it's kind of like on the bottom.
Yeah.
Then you try to sell on the top. You wait for it to bottom out again, and then you buy at the bottom, and then like that's all you need to do. Like I know this one kid, he made like 100 grand in like 2 months, and all he traded was Tesla. Like he just focused on
Tesla's a good example of that because I have a friend. All he does is Tesla. He's had shares forever, and then when it went up so much, he started doing like covered calls.
Right.
And he like usually does really well with it because I guess when you just watch one name, you do have a good sense for what it's
like the resistance levels. You need the support levels. Like I know there's other one guy who only trades Facebook, and like he just gets $2 movements at a time. But
the only problem with that is like any company can shit the bed, and it can be just like look, if let's say like Elon Musk like died or Elon Musk got arrested for doing something crazy, Tesla stock is fucked, right?
Yeah.
So so right now I have 9 positions. 2 option positions, gold, silver, Bitcoin. There's 5, and I'm just like 4 names. How many do you think you need? There's been like studies on how many names you need to have to be adequately diversified, and it's not that many actually.
No, I mean
it's like 10 names is as good as 100 in terms of diversification or something.
I mean, if you want diversification, all you got to do is look at all of the sectors and then just choose the leaders from the sectors, right? Like you go to healthcare, you pick United Healthcare. You go to tech, you pick Microsoft, Apple. You go to consumer, you pick like Walmart, Target, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You just buy shares of those, and then boom, you're diversified. And then with your remaining capital, you can just use that to like trade whatever.
Yeah, I kind of like just having like 5 names. But the thing is, if one of them gets crushed, it like hurts. I mean, but odds are like if you have, but you're going to have some high flyers too, so it should balance out.
Yeah.
And in this market, it just doesn't, companies don't really bust. Like, and if they do, they recover so fast.
Yeah. Or if they bust, then somebody else takes them over, and then that's it. That's why like if you want to passively manage it, like you should just go for the leaders.
Man, what I would love to see a stat of is maybe I'll look it up and try to throw it in here in editing. But like how much like cash is on the sidelines. So
A ton. There's a ton of cash.
and
On the
so
sidelines.
that'd be interesting because whatever it is, let's say like some of that money is going to make its way into the market next year, right? And so if you have enough of it move into the market, it's just going to make the market go up.
Yeah, they're like what they've been saying is that even in like November, December, the volume's been very low, even though the market's been grinding to all-time high. I don't know what is the reason for this, but like a lot of cash, they missed the dip, and now they're just kind of like, I don't know what they're waiting for. But maybe they're waiting for a new president.
I mean, I think to like have a cash on the sidelines right now, you just have so much money, you don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Right? Like
they're just waiting for the big dip. If there's a big ass dip, then like I think everyone's gonna buy in there.
I mean, you know what could cause a big dip is like everything I read about New York sounds really bad. Like apartment prices fell 22% in November. Yes. Everyone's going out of business. Like at some point, there's going to be defaults, right?
Yeah, like commercial real estate just crash.
But I also feel the government just won't let that happen, and they'll just step in. But we don't let. I feel like in the U.S. we don't let like big companies fail anymore.
No,
we don't let sectors fail, especially during COVID.
No, you can't. I mean, you could maybe argue that there were companies out there that were struggling, and this whole stimulus was, just gave them the injection that they needed.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like New York, especially because the restaurant industry's in toast there. No one's moving there. People are moving out, so all their like tax revenues down, and like. So maybe that's the trigger. Maybe you have like a city or a big city or a state just kind of like default on everything.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, I think New York at the end of the day is going to be fine. Like this, you could say that even all this bad stuff, like it's just kind of reverting to the mean. Like they've been flying high for so long, and all the have just been so overvalued that maybe it's time for that to correct. That's what's happening.
Yeah. And like if people are moving out of New York, then I feel like New York has a lot of smart people, a lot of ambitious people, and they're creative and they do cool things. So if they're moving into other cities in the US, those cities are just becoming better.
Right. But eventually, like if you're like a Broadway singer or like you don't know where to go, then New York is probably your best chance for success.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to go to Cleveland, Ohio, even though there is opportunities and things.
Yeah, but that's such a like small amount of people, I would think.
Yeah. And if you're a big company or if you're a company that wants to have like a lot of range, you need like a central hub.
Yeah, no, I feel like if prices fall enough in New York, then just like all the big tech companies should just like buy buildings.
Yeah. I mean,
you should have instead of like the JP Morgan or
I'm sure a lot of people are buying in New York City right now.
Yeah.
The real estate's cheap compared to the past.
All right, man. I think we got some good stuff here.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
What do you guys?
Our last video had like 25 views.
That's crazy. Who's watching?
I think it's like people, they just kind of, you go to search or like TWTR or, I think with the stop tickers.
But how long do you think they watch for?
Average viewing time is like 5 minutes.
That's pretty long.
I think what they do is, I think because we have those
timestamps,
then you can just click on it. And especially like if we talking about plug, like not as many people talk about it. So it's hard to get any insight into it,
Right.
Yeah, but I just subscribed to this Riverside thing.
Okay, nice, man.
Yeah, all the software's pretty sweet. So how long are you in? Here, I'll stop this. Yeah, I think
I'm going.